Hello, I'm Mark. Welcome to Android Authority. Two of the latest, hottest, and most powerful Android smartphones are the Samsung Galaxy S4 and the HTC One. As expected, these Android titans come not just with awesome displays and processing power, but also with interesting cameras and camera features. In this video, join me in looking at the Galaxy S4's and HTC One's camera more closely. Between the two, the Galaxy S4 seems to have the better camera, thanks to its sweet-sounding hardware specs. By mere pixel count alone, it seems to have a big head start over the HTC One, 13 megapixels in all. Meanwhile, don't be too quick to demean the HTC One's low megapixel count just yet. HTC takes pride in its new ultra-pixel camera, a 4 megapixel shooter. Yeah, small, right? But with larger pixel size for capturing more light. Both cameras can reach up to 4 times digital magnification and can record 1080p Full HD videos. The HTC One, though, has optical image stabilization, while the S4 uses digital image stabilization. Which of the two cameras provide quality photos and videos? We'll answer that question later. For now, let's first talk briefly about the camera interface and features on both phones. The Galaxy S4 inherits some of the camera interface elements from the Galaxy camera. Button layout is similar. Both also use the camera mode carousel and the shade for preset filters. There are new buttons, menus, and filter presets too. Meanwhile, the HTC One's camera UI resembles that of its predecessors. Only a few changes have been made to the camera UI. For instance, the toggle button for HTC Zoe is placed prominently along the same side as the flash toggle and the settings button. So, what do the two cameras have in store for us? Quite a lot, actually. Both cameras offer several filters and effects that you can apply immediately to your photo as you are snapping it. The HTC One has a longer list of effects and filters, but we've already seen them on HTC phones such as the One X or even the HTC Sensation. But that's not a bad thing at all. In fact, HTC's effects and filters produce really cool-looking photos. Though I personally find the filters and effects on the Galaxy S4 more interesting and more fun. One thing I like about them is that each filter thumbnail acts as a mini preview of that effect. It actually looks cool and I like it a lot. Aside from camera effects and filters, there are also the various shooting modes that make camera use convenient and fun. Let's look at the Galaxy S4 first. The Galaxy S4 includes shooting modes that first debuted in Samsung's other earlier releases. But there are a few new modes and features too. Drama mode is one new feature. It captures several photos of a moving subject and combines them, resulting in a dramatic portrayal of an action. Another new feature is animated photo, for capturing a still photo with some of its parts animated. It's a cool effect. Eraser shot is a new handy feature. The phone tries to detect moving or unwanted objects in the background of the photo and lets you remove the unwanted objects. Sound and shot is an interesting concept. It captures a still photo and records a few seconds of the background sound at the same time. Dual shot is also another interesting feature. It captures photos and videos using the front and back cameras at the same time. Lastly, there's auto night detection, which detects low lighting and adjusts camera settings to capture clear and well-exposed photos without firing the flash. Those are some of the fun and interesting new features of the Galaxy S4 camera. What about shooting modes and features on the HTC One? On the HTC One, you get exactly the same bunch of features from previous HTC releases, plus one new and interesting camera mode known as HTC Zoe. HTC Zoe reportedly leverages the HTC Ultra-Pixel camera by capturing up to 20 still photos in very quick succession, plus a 3-second MP4 video. The resulting image set and video are collectively known as a Zoe. Zoes in the Gallery app appear as animated thumbnails. You can play back Zoes if you like. You can even select and export a single frame from a Zoe. From out of a Zoe, you can also create something similar to the S4's drama mode shots, best face shots, and eraser mode shots. Just tap on the retouch button. For the drama mode shot, choose sequence shots. For the best face shot, choose always smile. And for eraser mode shot, choose object remove. Remember to save your edited work. Before moving on to comparing actual image samples, let me tell you a bit about video recording on the two phones. Both phones can record 1080p Full HD videos, as well as slow motion and fast motion videos. The S4 can capture slow-mo and high definition, but the HTC One downsizes the resolution to 768 by 432. Both can capture fast motion videos in 1080p Full HD. The HTC One, though, has an advantage. It can't capture 1080p Full HD videos with high dynamic range or HDR. On the S4, HDR is available only for photos via the rich tone shooting mode. Now let's find the proof in the pudding and compare the output quality of these cameras. We took photos in various settings to see how each camera performed. The image sets can be divided into 4 general categories: studio shots, indoor shots, daytime outdoor shots, and nighttime outdoor shots. First, let's begin with a semi-controlled environment inside a makeshift studio. Our goal was to compare image quality of photos captured with the same amount of lighting and across various ISO speed ratings. This first set used auto ISO settings. The Samsung photo is sharp and vibrant and uses a standard 4:3 aspect ratio. The HTC photo has somewhat subdued colors with greenish-bluish tint, uses the 16:9 aspect ratio, and has a wider field of view. Here's the second set using ISO 100. The Samsung photo still captured rich and vibrant colors. Some parts of the HTC photo are slightly clearer and less washed out than its auto ISO version. The differences in this batch are nearly the same as in the previous batch. This third set uses ISO 800, which is the maximum setting for the S4. Although noise and grain become perceptible on the Samsung photo, it still captured rich and vibrant colors. The HTC photo is still subdued and has some greenish hue, quite similar to its auto ISO version. After some fiddling with HTC Photo's EXIF data, we found that the photo was taken at ISO 125 instead of ISO 800. We also tried snapping an image at ISO 1600 on the HTC One, but the phone continued to insist on using ISO 125. To compare the quality of images snapped under dim lighting, we took indoor photos. A little natural outdoor light was available through a nearby window, but no house light was on. The Galaxy S4 image size was set to 13 megapixels with a 4:3 aspect ratio, and the HTC One to 4 megapixels with 16:9 aspect ratio. Here's the first batch of indoor photos, shot in normal or auto mode. The HTC One's photo came out brighter and less noisy, but observe the textured background more closely. It looks smoothened out on the HTC One, but seems sharper and more detailed on the S4 photo. On to the next batch of indoor shots, this time using flash. Here's the HTC One photo. It shows some yellowish tinge, but the colors are preserved and appear realistic. And this one's from the S4. It has some bluish tint because of the flash. Here's the last set of indoor shots. These were shot in night mode. Night mode surely helped the S4 snap a clearer and brighter photo. On the HTC One, night mode seems to negatively affect quality, as it produced a grainy photo with subdued colors. Photography is all about lighting. That's why daytime outdoor photos often turn out awesome. But even under bright lighting, some cameras just produce more awesome than others. Which of these phones gives more awesome? Here are daytime outdoor photos shot in auto mode. Both phones used the highest image resolution using a 16:9 aspect ratio. This means 9 megapixels on the S4 and 4 megapixels on the HTC One. As expected, both images came out sharp, crisp, and well lit. The HTC One's image came out a little bit overexposed and washed out, though it had a wider field of view. We also tested the digital zoom capability of the two phones. Here's the S4 photo of a subject zoomed to maximum. And here's the one from the HTC One. The Samsung photo caught more details than the HTC One thanks to a higher megapixel count. Many people love photographing objects up close, so we took some sample close-up and macro shots. First, the results. The one on the left is from the S4, the one on the right is from the HTC One. The HTC photo has sharper contrast, resulting in clearer view of the subject, but also making the colors too vivid. It was also able to blur out the background a bit. The Samsung Photo seems to have struck a nice balance of contrast and sharpness, resulting in a clear and realistic image. Take note that the Galaxy S4 doesn't have macro mode. We also recorded some sample clips to check the quality of outdoor video recording. Interestingly, in these sample clips, the S4's digital image stabilization seems to perform much better than the HTC One's optical image stabilization. The S4 video appears more stable and shows less shake and less jitter. Colors on the S4 video also seem to be more realistic compared to the contrasted colors on the HTC video. We stumbled upon this refreshing sight of water, spurting and gushing upwards, then cascading down into a pool. We took some photos just to see how well the phones capture photos of moving subjects. Both images came out well exposed and crisp, but I like the Galaxy S4's image better because it appeared crunchier, sharper, and realistically colored. It also maintained focus. The HTC Photo appeared washed out and slightly overexposed. It also lost some focus on some part of the image. And we also grabbed the chance to test the two cameras' slow motion recording. The HTC One can do slow-mo only at 768 by 432 pixels, but the Galaxy S4 can do up to 1280 by 720 high definition. Most users avoid taking pictures at night because the photos tend to be noisy and darker. That's because of the lack of adequate lighting. But are these two phones able to produce night photos with acceptable quality? Here's a set of outdoor images taken at night. The cameras were on normal or auto mode. Trying to brighten up the images, the S4 and HTC One ramped up their ISO levels. Result? Bright yet noisy images, as shown by the overpowering bright lights from street lamps and nearby buildings. In this set, the background lights drown out the tree outlines on the HTC Photo, but such outlines are perceptible on the Samsung Photo. Here's a second set using night mode. Night mode helped brighten up the photos a bit, but didn't solve the noise issue. The background lights on the HTC Photo appeared to intensify. And finally, a third set using HDR mode on both cameras. The bright background lights on the S4 Photo seem to mellow down a bit, but noise is still present. The S4 image actually seems to have balanced the lighting levels quite better than the HTC One did. The HTC Photo became noisier and had some eerie glow from the background lights. So far, I've shown you sample photos of scenery shot at night. What about closer shots of objects? Here are some sample close-ups of an object. This first set used auto or normal mode. The HTC Photo appears dimmer and darker. The S4 Photo captured more light and more detail. We enabled flash, thinking that it could help with the lighting deficiency. Both photos still came out dim, but the flash did throw in some extra light to make the subject more visible and clearer. The Samsung Photo came out with a bluish tint and a bit overexposed. The HTC Photo came out dimmer, but the subject was definitely visible and clear, and not too much of the light from the flash bounced off the subject's body. Finally, we checked how well the two phones can record videos at night. The Galaxy S4 produced a darker, noisier, and softer video than the video from the HTC One. In terms of image stabilization though, I find the Galaxy S4 clip smoother. The HTC clip has more jitter and looks more shaky. Many people buy Android phones not just for the phone features, but also for multimedia features, such as photo and video capturing. The Galaxy S4's 13-megapixel camera offers a good balance among hardware, camera features, and output quality. It became my personal choice after we did the photo and video tests. Yet, the HTC One's 4-megapixel ultra-pixel camera is not to be easily dismissed either. It does perform well in many of the test settings that we tried. It seems to perform quite well in low-light environments, and HTC Zoe is quite an intriguing new feature, offering flexibility, though I find it a bit too roundabout. What about you? On the basis of camera power, which is your preferred Android phone? The Samsung Galaxy S4 or the HTC One? Let us know in the comments. For more Android guides, news, and reviews, visit AndroidAuthority.com. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Mark. Thank you for watching. Until next time. And remember, the power of Android is yours.